Fabi to continue what has been, once again, a fabulous year, Jovi.
Yeah, absolutely. Fabiano just playing better and better. You do feel that this is his year.
How do you get MVL to win the tournament? Well, you have one victory the entire tournament. One victory. MVL wins against Pappy. There's a massive 8-way tie for second, and that's how you... English?
Yeah, and
pardon me, Sicilian.
Yeah, it's a Najdorf, to which Wesley replied with bishop d3. A move that has become quite fashionable recently, and MVL himself, an interesting bit about this is MVL himself played off-bit choice. What do you think about this position?
Well, it's strange. I think there's a disharmony in White's position, and for me, the knight on g3 and the bishop on d3 both are not suboptimal. I mean, not great squares, whereas the inclusion of g7, g6, an argument might be made. You're like, yeah, I would rather have the pawn back on g7, but not so much so that I wouldn't be very happy for the misplaced pieces. I like black.
I kind of like white because of this big square on d5. If you control that breakout, then I think white now has a nice advantage. And the knight on g3 is bad, but you can see a situation where the bishop will come to h6 and look at the h4, h5, or maybe even a knight jumping back into f5.
So just to put it, so let's play a move here for MVL, and you can show Jovi, the audience, what your suggestion. So bishop g7, show a castle.
Yeah,
I'm going to be compliant, shall we?
Yeah, let's castle.
Castles, bishop h6.
And now this is where I like to tickle you on the king side and start to...
Here you're about to point out that the knight on g3 is useful because you can go h4 and you've got h5 coming.
Exactly.
And you're going to blast open on the king side.
And if you're very careless, the knight can jump back into f5.
So, for example, I'll be careless. I'll fall for your nefarious plan. Something like this, right? So my knight's on d4, and I'll play it in true dragon style. Queen a5. You want to take on g7?
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to come in with queen h6 as well?
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something like that, but
like something like this.
But you didn't play ball by putting the knight on d4, because I wanted to put my knight on f5.
Okay, that's true. Okay, so I take it back. So I'm going to play b5.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Then I'm going to take the
anyway, my point is still that the knight can come back to f5, because I mean, if you...
So I'm just going to make a...
Yeah, I mean, even now you can go knight to f5.
With or without... Well, I like somehow you're gonna want all of this good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And this is how you swing for the fence, and you go checkmate me with knight f5. These types of ideas, right?
Yes, but also when the bishop is still on g7, you know, the knight on f5 cannot be captured because of queen to g5.
And how do these two...
does
for us.
look like we are going to see a result between Wesley So and Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. It is a draw between these two players, and there we see the arbiter, Chris Bird, put the kings in the middle of the board. And
Again,
let's have a look at how this developed.
Well-played game.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I played with white a lot of times. But this g6 and queen b6 is, I wouldn't say new, but it's still relatively unexplored compared to the main move e5.
I see. So let's say, I mean, the game was developing quite logically. Of course, you never can take on b2.
No, I just can share one detail.
Yes.
So after queen b6, if white goes a4,
Okay.
so now you don't go knight c6 because take on c6, but you go bishop g7. And if white goes a5, no, you can take.
You can take bishop b5. Ah, and then you defend your queen.
Yes.
It's a trick. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So a4 was not good. a3 he played.
I mean, it's not that a4 is not good,
Yes.
but
Like you don't need to play that.
a5 is definitely not good. So yeah, of course, knight h6 is another option, but knight g3 is very principled. And yeah, that's here. I didn't remember if I should go bishop e6 or if I should start bishop g7 castle. But in the end, I decided this position was quite playable. Once I get d5, I assumed I'm not worse.
I was wondering somewhere here, let's say instead of bishop h6, there were so many options. Like, what do you normally do? You castle long, you castle short.
Okay,
You would do.
h4, h5. This
Yes,
is
also was possible. Yes.
but h4 I go h5.
Uh-huh.
If castle kingside, then I'm happy. I just castle kingside.
Also castle
and if long
kingside.
castle, I think this was critical.
But castle short side, okay.
Yes.
And then maybe it can be some.
Yeah, but you go
Some
b5,
play.
b4, some knight d4.
So might also
Again,
play d3. Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the details, which is why I was not happy with myself.
Okay.
No, this I remember. After bishop e2, you don't care. You give the pawn. Something like maybe b5.
b5, yes, and the queen d6, you just
Yeah,
queen a5, or queen c8,
Yeah.
sorry. Queen c8, of course.
Yes, something like this. I'm not really sure, but I knew this should be okay.
It could be a completely different game, yes? If you would have played this long castle.
Yes,
With opposite
of course.
castling.
But even here, I felt there's lots of play. But maybe I'm the one who bailed out with d5. Like I can go king b8, knight to d4, rook c8, or even here start with knight d4 and rook c8. But I felt. I don't know, I felt it shouldn't be better for me, and so I just decided to go for d5, and I mean there's still some things going on here. I thought can become very tricky for white, but bishop d3 and knight e2 was nice, especially knight e2 I didn't see.
Yeah, so he's
Because I
trying to
thought
get
knight
rid of
e4
this knight. Yes.
maybe f5, but here I don't have time, for instance f6 would be ill-advised.
Bishop g6.
Yes.
Oh,
Looks
okay,
scary,
yes,
but
yes.
pawn is a pawn.
Yeah, we don't like to give them. I was thinking maybe you could have avoided this knight exchange and go with your knight back to c6, or
Yeah, I
take-
didn't want to.
But I understand it's something is different.
No, I
yes.
mean, of course, knight f5 was
Knight f5,
first
okay.
my idea, but bishop takes.
Yes.
Pawn takes, I assume I'm slightly worse, and bishop takes knight c3.
This
And the
knight is-
queen on h6 especially is unpleasant now, because I always hitting at h7, maybe queen g7, sometimes g4, and this knight is not worse than the bishop for sure.
Yeah. So at the end, let's say there was just a draw, repetition, and the game finished
Yes.
in a draw. What do you think